Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's well. So, I wanted to first come here and say thank you so much for your prayers, your condolences, every text message, call, whatever have you, for the passing of my beloved, wonderful Aunt Jean. She was a treasure. She was amazing. And thank you so much. And so I also want to come here to brief you, as some of you may or may not know, on this pretty interesting travel experience, actually horrific travel experience I've had in the last 24 hours. I've been traveling for years, and I've had my travel experiences like everybody else, some extremely amazing and some not always the best, right? Because nothing is perfect. Airlines make mistakes. Okay. But it's when you make the mistake, owning up to the mistake and how you deal with the customer always matters. It doesn't mean that the customer is always right, but when it's your fault, then you should accept responsibility for that. So I use Priceline, as I have for many years, because traveling at the last minute can be what? Expensive. And so Priceline was our go-to to get this ticket to get me to St. Louis to be with my family. And I took a flight. There were options, and I took the Delta option. So Delta got me there fine, no problems. The other option coming back was Sun Country Airlines. I had never heard of Sun Country Airlines before, but it was the best option because I had to make a fast choice. Okay, so we got to St. Louis fine, did everything we needed to did and planned to do. I was supposed to travel back to Charlotte yesterday morning. The flight was supposed to leave at 10:24. For what I understand, the flight was 55 minutes or more delayed. Okay, it was supposed to arrive in the connecting city, which was Minnesota, at 12:05, and then depart at 12:50. I should have been, for whatever reason, it was a little long day, but I would have arrived back here at 4 o'clock or so on Friday. Well, unfortunately, the flight leaving out of St. Louis was delayed. It did not get to Minnesota actually until 12:55, almost literally 1 o'clock. I didn't make it a big deal because I work for myself. I work remotely. So, okay, we work wherever we are. Okay, we can work this out. My thought was they'll put me on another flight for the same day. Even if I have to stay over, it's cool. It's their fault. They'll take care of or reimburse for any and all travel experience, expenses, a hotel, whatever have you. When I got to the gate, I found out after they told me I had to go downstairs that Sun Trust Airlines only flies out once a day. And they only fly out to Charlotte once a day. There wasn't going to be another flight available until Monday. Monday is too long. I didn't have my clothes. I didn't have anything. It was just a lot of hustle and bustle. So I want to fast forward through the story and explain what happened. I ended up being in the airport in Minneapolis for 4 hours, going back and forth with customer service, physical agents, as well as agents over the phone and agents through text message. And almost all of them blamed Priceline for the issue, which doesn't make sense because you were late. So how do you blame Priceline? But they blamed Priceline. They put it all on Priceline. It's Priceline's fault. Threw them under the bus. You should have never taken Priceline use Priceline. If you'd have booked through us, we would take care of your problem. And that is literally what an agent said to me. She said, if you would have booked through us, we would give you a voucher for the hotel happily. They were giving me a voucher, but it was a discounted voucher. The discount was not that much, right? It was, to be honest with me, my opinion, to be honest, in my opinion, it was a slap in my face or any customer's face, because the delay was their fault. So they wanted to offer me a voucher. They sent me another voucher, complimentary actually. Okay, we can work this out. They sent me a complimentary voucher, but it was for St. Louis, wrong city. Got back on the phone again, explained. They said, oh, it was an accident. We can't send you another voucher. It was an accident. We didn't mean to do that. So it was just a lot of back and forth, very unknowledgeable staff. There was one woman who had a little bit more knowledge than everyone else, but she didn't have the power to do anything. So just a lot of back and forth. I ended up having to put myself in a hotel. I ended up buying another flight to come home. I found a Jesus deal, is what I call it, on Priceline for $159. Incredible, insane. on Delta to come home this morning on Saturday. I'm really giving you a short version of what happened in a course of almost 24 hours. It was just really horrific, even down to getting to the hotel and the staff telling me that Sun Country Airlines is a horrible airline. No one should follow them. It was unimaginable, right? On top of that, just the like you're coming back from a funeral service. Your emotions are kind of toying with you, that kind of thing, and so it was just a bad experience. um, Really, and what bothered me the most, to be honest with you, is that how that no one took responsibility for the flight delay. No one even explained to me what happened. Well, ma'am, it was this and this is why the flight was delayed. They just made no convenience. The customer service was terrible. It was a terrible experience. Then once I finally get back to Charlotte, they cannot find my bag. Why? Because my bag is in Minneapolis. Because when I got there, and I get it, I've been traveling for a long time. I should have thought to go get my bag, but your mind is racing trying to figure out how you're going to get home. And I'm thinking my bag is in Charlotte. I know it sounds crazy. So they told me when I get to the airport, no one said, hey, you have to make sure that, because I canceled my flight. So they offered me another flight, but they were going to reroute me to Raleigh, Durham. Crazy, right? So I'm getting a refund back for the flight because it was just a mess. And my bag is in Minneapolis. They are shipping my bag. They have located the bag. They're going to send the bag to me on Monday because that's when the next flight comes out. And then I have to go pick up my bag, right? So they're not going to deliver the bag to me. I'm telling you, I'm probably giving you the short version. I may have talked a little fast. I'm sorry. But it was a really terrible experience. From this, I've learned, you got to be on your game when you're traveling, even when you're in distress, even when you're in despair, even when you're sad. You just got to get your game up and make sure all your ducks in a row. Ask a lot of questions. If you're flying an airline that you've never flown before, check it out. Check the reviews. Make sure it's good. A lot of people suggested I not do Priceline again, but this system has been working for me for years. Maybe it's just time for a new system. So shout out to Bishop David Cooper, who gave me some wonderful advice today. And here I am. So Sun Country Airlines, I had a really horrible experience with your airlines. Not only did I have a horrible experience, customer service was not the best. While no one was necessarily mean, they were just unknowledgeable. No one was willing to take responsibility for what happened. No one was willing to accommodate me, and as well as a lot of other people that were having terrible experience on that day. Flight delays, cancellations. How do I know that? Because the agent told me, yeah, we've had a lot of cancellations and delays today. So to me, you make up for it somehow. You do something. But to pass me around all day long for 4 hours, they expected me to sleep in the airport. I will do no such thing. I will not lay on the no, because I'm going to get sick. So if I lay on the floor, I'm bound to get sick. All right, and then I can't do what I do. Right. So here we are. Here's the story. 8 minutes of 24 hours. I appreciate you listening. I really encourage, I would say don't fly Sun Country Airlines, which some people didn't even know they existed. But the real point of the story is to make sure you're always up on your game when you're traveling. Ask as many questions as you feel necessary. When your flight is delayed, don't just think everything's gonna be okay. Really get on the horn, take care of your business. Thank you so much for listening. I just want to make sure I talked about my story verbally online so that it could be recorded what I, Yolanda Morant, experienced on Sun Country Airlines on July the 5th, 2024, coming from St. Louis, Missouri, connecting flight in Minneapolis to Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you so much.